I heard the scream before I saw the smoke. By the time I reached the fence, my two Brahmin bulls were standing over a crushed BMW, and the HOA president was sobbing in the snow, all because they dumped 6 tons of plowed snow right on my grazing land. My family's ranch has been here longer than the HOA's fancy covenants. 40 acres of open pasture, 24 cattle, and peace you can't buy. Then came Resolution 7B, some new rural aesthetic code claiming authority over non-residential lots. I got my first warning for unauthorized livestock near Shared Road. Shared Road? It's my driveway. I ignored it until one morning I stepped outside to find a mountain of plowed snow dumped right at the edge of my best grazing field. No call, no note, just 6 tons of salted slush melting into my soil. I emailed politely, "This is private property." Their reply chilled me more than the snow. Per HOA guidelines, snow storage is permitted on non-residential parcels. That's when I knew this wasn't about snow, it was about control. I found her the next morning, Diane, the HOA president, parked right on my access road in her gleaming black BMW, sipping coffee like she owned the view. "It's just snow," she said, waving a manicured hand. "Your cows can walk around it." But it wasn't just snow. It was laced with road salt, already killing the winter rye my bulls depended on. Worse, it blocked their only path to the water trough. I stayed calm, showed her the property stake. She smirked. Boundaries are flexible in shared communities. That's when Brutus and Titan appeared over the ridge. Curious, massive, muscles rippling under thick hides. Diane's smile vanished. She gunned the engine, swerving between them like she could intimidate 2,500 pounds of bovine instinct. Big mistake. Brutus nudged the front fender. Crunch. Titan lowered his head and charged. Metal screamed, glass exploded, the BMW flipped onto its side, airbags bursting like surrender flags. Diane scrambled out, coat torn, shrieking, "My car! You'll pay for this!" But all I heard was the wind and my bulls snorting in quiet triumph. I didn't call my lawyer, I called the sheriff, and made sure to mention illegal dumping on agricultural land. When he arrived, I handed him a printed deed map. His eyes narrowed. The snow pile sat 12 feet inside my property line, no gray area. I showed him photos, dead grass, white crust of salt, my bulls pacing restlessly near contaminated water. Then I dropped the legal bomb. State Code Section 42-19 says dumping road salt on farmland is a Class A misdemeanor. It's considered hazardous material. Diane turned pale. Her insurance agent confirmed it later. No coverage for intentional environmental damage. But the real blow came from neighbors. Old Man Jenkins sent drone footage showing the HOA dumping snow on his hayfield too. Then the Millers shared texts where board members joked about teaching ranchers their place. Within hours, the HOA's secret snow dumping operation went viral on Nextdoor. Suddenly, Diane wasn't just dealing with me, she was facing a full-blown revolt. And for the first time, she looked scared. Not of my bulls, but of the people she'd tried to silence. Within 48 hours, the HOA board held an emergency vote, and Diane was out. No ceremony, no farewell email, just silence. A week later, a check arrived for $18,000, full restitution for pasture restoration, soil remediation, and even vet checks for Brutus and Titan, who, by the way, were perfectly fine and oddly smug. Diane never came back. Rumor has it she sold her house at a steep loss and moved to a high-rise downtown, somewhere with no livestock, no land, and definitely no snow dumping rights. I used part of the settlement to install a heavy-duty gate at the property line, topped with a hand-painted sign, "Private Ranch, Trespassers Will Be Grazed." Neighbors still wave when they drive by. Some even leave apples for the bulls. Out here, we don't need HOAs to tell us how to care for our land. Sometimes justice doesn't come from a courtroom. It comes from hooves, heart, and the quiet power of knowing your ground. If your HOAs ever cross the line, dumping trash, blocking access, or acting like they own your land, Tell me your story in the comments below. Let's expose these power trips together. And if you've got livestock, pets, or even a garden that's been targeted, share how you stood your ground. It might give someone else the courage to fight back. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because next week I reveal how I got the HOA to pave my driveway using their own budget. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens when they try to inspect my chicken coop.